Hi, I'm Alan Carl, WorldRider, and welcome to my YouTube channel. For those of you who follow me, know that this is highly unusual. I'm never sitting here in my home studio talking to you through a camera. No, that's because I'm usually out there riding around the world on my motorcycle alone. Perhaps you've seen me or some of my videos here on my YouTube channel.
Hard I'm pulling on that. I wonder, of course, the cow's not even reacting to me.
Riding in China, Iceland, in Africa, or in the Balkans, or even in the Salar de Uyuni in Bolivia. You know, from Athens to Azerbaijan and Zanzibar to Zambia, I've traveled on my motorcycle to more than 80 countries. It's what I do. But these days, you know, my motorcycle is gathering more dust than miles or kilometers. Lockdown, stay at home, quarantined, sequestered, and stuck. So what do? How do I cure my wanderlust and cabin fever in these crazy times? I find adventure in my backyard. You can find adventure everywhere you go and whatever you do. It's just how you look at it that makes a difference. Like yesterday, the conditions were just perfect. Full moon, high tide, and pounding surf. I thought, wow, what a perfect opportunity to go out and capture some epic ocean footage of that surf with my Osmo Action Camera. You know, I knew what I was going to do was risky, and that's okay for me. I've never been one to play it safe. After all, I do ride around the world on a motorcycle. But this was different. I set my Osmo Action Camera in the surf, hoping to get some epic slow motion footage. And before I turn around, the ocean grabbed my camera and dragged it away. You know, I was about to write off that Osmo Action Camera to my risky and perhaps bozo move. But there is a happy ending to the story, and some great epic footage that I'll share with you in just a moment. But first, I want to tell you about some new adventures I'm going to bring you here on my YouTube channel. Adventures in photography, videography, vlogging, and storytelling. You know, often people ask me questions about what kind of gear and technology that I use as I travel around the world. Wondering, how did I do this? Would I recommend that? Or have I tried this? So for the first time, I'm going to share tips and tricks and tell stories about how I do what I do and the gear and technology I use. And after all, you know, I do have a lot of technology and gear. Things like action cameras, DSLRs and lenses, drones, microphones, lighting, power banks, portable SSDs and drives, guitars, accessories, and all kinds of gadgets. No, I don't carry all this stuff around the world, but deciding what to bring is important. And the process I go through to decide whether to bring something or not is interesting, and I will be sharing stories and my rationale and thinking about that. So please, if you have any questions, thoughts, or ideas, leave a comment here and make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. I want to hear from you. Let's get back to that adventure in my backyard. The day started pretty tame. I took a walk to the beach like I usually do, watched the surfers, the other people walking, the bicyclists, people gathered together on the cliffs to watch the sunset, and even playing with my other toys, with time lapses and motion lapses as the sun sets. So as I make my descent down that steep staircase hugged up against those cliffs, as I get to the bottom, I realize the bottom 2 steps are covered in surf. There's not a stretch of sand anywhere. So I pull out my Osmo Action Camera and the little GoPro tripod, thinking this is going to be epic footage, slow motion of this crazy crashing and smashing surf. So I set it down in the surf. The first few waves splash in dramatic fashion, nice waves, foam, looks great. Then another wave comes. Oh, it looks great. I'm imagining how this is going to look when I get it back onto the computer. And then you have to be careful, because the ocean can surprise you, like it did me with the next wave that came crashing, soaking me from knee down to my feet, and then grabbing my Osmo Action and dragging it out to the ocean. I jump up a couple stairs to get out of the water. And then I look down, thinking, wondering, will the Osmo Action float? But realizing, no, it won't. So I imagine that in a few days, that camera's going to get washed up on the beach somewhere, and some lucky surfer is going to stumble on it and give it a new home. But just as I'm thinking about this, I look down and a big wave pulls back, reveals some sand wet for the first time. And for a moment I think I see a hint of black, something shining. But before I can jump back down those stairs, another wave comes in, covering the whole area up with water and surf again. I think, am I hallucinating? Am I seeing things? Then another wave pulls back, reveals the wet sand, but nothing, no sign of anything. I'm kind of disappointed, but accept the fact that I've probably lost my Osmo Action Camera. And just then, the waves pull back again, the surf retreats to the ocean, and I see it. Glaring in the sun, a hint of shininess. Yes, it's my Osmo Action Camera. I jump down the stairs, thrust my hand into the sand, grab it and pull it out. Yeah, got it. Make my way back home, rinse it off in fresh water, and get to look at that footage. You know, the adventure and the journey, my Osmo Action, is pretty amazing and often kind of psychedelic. Yeah, check out that footage. You know, the moral of the story, if there is one, is maybe that the ocean may taketh, but it will give back as well. And also, the Osmo Action is a hell of a product. It is waterproof down to 30 feet. And kudos to DJI, the manufacturer, for making a great product. Hey, I've got a lot more stories and more adventures and more craziness to share with you. So please hit that subscribe button and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about the Osmo Action or any of these action cameras. Until the next time, I'm your host, Alan Carl, WorldRider. And do me a favor, stay curious, find adventures, and never stop exploring. See you on the next one.